Today we are looking at how the quality of the diesel fuel you use and how the specification of the engine oil you use in your diesel car can affect how long your DPF, your Diesel Particulate Filter, how long it lasts, and what you can do to help give it a longer life. Before we get into it, I have to say, don't let anyone ever tell you that you need to buy a new DPF. All of them can be cleaned. Right, back to today's subject. First of all, we'll look at diesel fuel, although there isn't really a way to look at it on its own, because the diesel fuel and a little bit of the engine oil, they're all being burnt together in your engine at high temperatures at the same time, forming chemical compounds together, so there's no real way to look at them completely separately. But I'll give it a try anyway. The short version is, don't put cheap and nasty diesel fuel in your car. There are a lot of reasons for that have nothing to do with your DPF, like cheap diesel might have some water in it that will rust the inside of your fuel injectors, or cheap fuel might have a very low cetane rating, so you're low on power and you get worse fuel economy. But from a DPF clogging perspective, the reason to use the best diesel fuel is the sulfur content. A bit of history. By the year 2006, all of Europe, the US, Canada, Australia, South Africa, and probably more countries had moved to ultra-low sulfur diesel fuel. This was mainly to stop the problem of acid rain, but it also had some important side effects for DPFs. The first is that sulfur stops the Diesel Oxidation Catalyst, the DOC, from working properly. If your car is a 2007 or later model, then it probably has a DOC before the DPF. They're in the same housing. You can see this BMW DPF, but it is the same for this Volvo DPF too. The DOC helps make the DPF work even better. The second reason that high sulfur diesel is bad is because more sulfur means more soot. And the more soot that there is, then the more chance there is that the sulfates will be created from the magnesium, the calcium and zinc in your engine oil. You see there how I can't really separate the diesel issue from the engine oil issue. Anyway, by now you've got to be asking, why am I talking about high sulfur diesel when it was eliminated back in 2006? Well, first of all, it wasn't eliminated in every country. There are still countries where you can buy high sulfur diesel as an option, perhaps there is no option. But even in countries where it is the law that you must use ultra low sulfur diesel fuel, there might be a way to get hold of off-road or marine diesel. But it is not a good idea to put that in your car. Always seek out the best quality diesel that you can. For the second part of this video, let's talk about engine oils. The BMW specification for diesel cars with particulate filters is called LL-04, the LL standing for long life. Other car manufacturers also have separate specifications for their diesel cars. And the difference is that these engine oils are pretty much all synthetic, and they're all low ash engine oils, and they're also low in sulfur, phosphorus, calcium, magnesium and zinc too, all of which do not burn away completely once they form compounds. They don't burn away completely, and they will go on to clog up your DPF. Even though modern diesel engines don't burn a horrendous amount of oil, it is still important that what is burnt as completely as possible, or it will clog up your DPF very quickly. And that's why you should never use the wrong specification of oil in your car. Oils for regular gasoline engines have high amounts of sulfur, phosphorus, calcium, magnesium and zinc. And that's because those compounds they're good lubricants. They're just not compatible with your DPF. So if you use regular oil, even if it's super expensive, synthetic grade, racing spec, even then it will shorten the life of your DPF drastically. Maybe it will only last 1/4 as long as it should. So if you do your own servicing, then double check that oil specification. If your favorite workshop services your car, then well, I'm sure they have a separate drum of oil that's only there for diesel BMWs. They do, don't they? don't they? So always choose your service centre wisely, as saving a few dollars on each oil change is not all that useful if it means that you ruin your DPF in one quart at a time.